to attempt to turn a small three-sided vase out of this alder. It's glued up. It's 3 pieces of 3/4 inch glued together. I've made it square, and let's get over to the saw and I'll show you my technique and what I use to determine and how I'm going to do the 3 sides. If you haven't seen how I do the 3-sided turnings, I've done some boxes, and I'll put a link to one of them up here, and I'll tag the other one toward the end. I've drawn a circle about 1/4 inch in from the total diameter. Once you find your center, draw your circle the size that you want one end, then you come in and you draw a line across the blank. Now what's important is that you use the same axis, and for this case I used this dividing line where this was glued together, because it's important that you use this axis for the other side, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I drew a line through the center, same axis on both sides. I popped an indent. Now with this still set to the radius of the circle, you put this in your first hole, in the hole that you just popped, draw a line, move this to that mark, draw another line, move it to this mark, draw another line. If you want to make sure that you're dead on, you come up to this line and you mark, come up to this line and you mark. Yep, I've got 6 marks all the way around. But you only need 3 of them. One of them you've already got. So you pop this one and you pop this one. That gives you 3 marks 120 degrees out. Then you come over to the other side. And remember, you've got this registration mark here for number 1. Follow it down. Draw your circle the size that you want it. And in this case it's that much. Find that same registration line, pop a mark on that circle, and then repeat the process. And that gives you 6 marks around the circle. Again, you only need 3 of them. Those 120 degrees apart. So this is number 1. Number 2 is above it. Number 2 is above it. Number 3 is over here. Number 3 is over here. So 3 lines up to 3. 2 lines up to 2. 1 lines up to 1. That's the important part. Now let's get it over the lathe and I'll show you where we go from there. I've not turned alder before, so I don't know how it's going to turn. This alder turns pretty nice. It's not real hard, it's pretty soft. Okay, now I want to get my parting tool and I want to take each end down to my marks. Or almost to my marks. I'm going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to mark these pieces right here. This is my no cross line, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. So I've got red marks drawn on each of these sides. Now I can back this off. You see my red marks, and I'm going to put this in hole number 1, and I'm going to put this in hole number 1. Billy, I don't understand what you're doing. You will. Now I'm going to turn this. I have a profile in mind. I'm just about to my mark over here. I'm watching this profile over here for my shape. I'm almost to my mark. I am at my mark. Okay, so that's roughly the shape I want. You want to do bulkier sanding at this grit, but I mean at this stage, because it's going to be nearly impossible to sand later. That was 400. That should be enough. Oh yeah, that's pretty smooth. Now we do the same thing. We go 2 to 2. So number 2 is here. We'll put number 2 in here. Number 2 is here. And now we do the same thing we did a minute ago. Down here. Now we do it one more time on number 3. Number 3 is here. Number 3 is here. This alder's so soft, it don't take long to get down there. I am there. So we sand again. Still got to sand these, but I will do that between centers. I don't want to sand anywhere else because I'll lose my definition on my edges, and I really don't want to do that. So I will just sand right there, and from the looks of it, I can start at 120. Interesting shape it is. It would be nice if I had a small hollowing set, but I don't. And as soft as this is, I'm afraid to do too much to it. Cut that round off. That's down to about there. I guess it'll have to do. I saw Cindy Drozda demonstrate a technique similar to this, very similar, at SWAT. Difference being she went in with hollowing tools, and I could try to go in here with my little Jimmy Clues 6mm and hollow that out more, but you know, they say the discretion is the better part of valor. So I'm gonna chicken out. I'm not gonna try to hollow that. I like how the piece looks. I will sand the mouth of this up, and I'll turn it around and finish the bottom. But I don't want to do too much to that at all. Let me get set up for turning this around. I'll come back. I got so excited about my reground spindle gouge, 3 spindle gouge. I've done this after the method that Mark Slade does his, and I have to say I like the result, although you didn't get to see it, unfortunately, because I'm stupid. Now I'm going to flatten the bottom of this off, just to get rid of the holes. I don't want to take any more material off than I have to, but I do want to get rid of all of those holes. So I think a negative rake wool scraper is going to be my best option. I'm gonna let this dry because that alder's soaking it in pretty good. I'm gonna give it one more coat, and then I'm gonna knock it back with 400 lightly, and then I'll decide what kind of finish I'm gonna put on it. Okay, sanding sealer is dry. I've knocked it back with 400. I'm gonna sign the bottom since it's too small for my logo. I'll smooth that bottom up. I've decided to finish this with Howard's Feed and Wax. I don't really think it needs to be super glossy. Now I'll let that soak in for 20 minutes and we'll buff it off and I'll come back. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. Feels good. I like it. It's different. So here it is. Just a quick little idea I had for a twig pot. Sign the bottom. Just a cute little piece. I kind of like it. This will probably be my last video until after the new year because, well, it is that time of year and everybody has things to do. A lot of people are going to be on the road traveling, including us. We're going to be leaving here Christmas Eve and driving to a condo on the lake. We're going to spend the week fishing and go to my niece's wedding on the 30th of December. So we won't be back until New Year's Eve. That said, y'all have a very, very Merry Christmas, and until I see you again next year, a very safe and prosperous New Year from all of us here at the Messy Studio.